thoughts on design systems. So their thoughts on design system is to adopt it. It's a general briefing. ThoughtWorks is a company that have a lot of people all around the world and know the technologies. They are like consultants, but it's a good place to learn about technology, what works, what does not work. So they have technology radar, and in the latest one, they recommend to adopt design systems. What are design systems? Let's read this. As application development becomes increasingly dynamic and complex, it's challenge to deliver accessible and usable products with consistent style. The question here I would ask is whether they discuss only UX like UI style or also how the system works style. I take it's a UI UX unless they say differently. This is particularly true in larger organizations with multiple teams working on different products. Design systems define a collection of design patterns, components, libraries, and good design and engineering practice. Actually, I take from our words back. It looks like they have design systems for everything. Let's see if I'll need to take my words back again. So, design systems are design patterns, components, libraries, and good design and engineering practices that ensure consistent digital products. Evolved from corporate style of guides of the past, design systems offer shared libraries and documents that are easy to find and use. Generally, guidance is written down as code and kept under version control so that the guide is less ambiguous and easier to maintain. So it's actual code-based patterns. Let's say you want to start a project or do something, then you should have a design system, how to do this, which version, how to run this, the pattern of the deployment, etc. Then simple documents. Design systems have become a standard approach when working across teams and disciplines in product development because they allow teams to focus. They can address strategic challenges across the product itself without reinventing the wheel every time a new visual component is needed. So it does talk about UI. I would take it to the extreme and say I would treat design systems not only as UI. Our experiences show that teams seldom apply a product-centric mindset when building design systems. The primary consumers of the shared libraries and documents are the product development teams. When applying product mindset, system owners should establish empathy with internal customers, the development teams, and collaborate with them. We've found that the reason many component libraries are misaligned is because product-centered manner and require organization to think about if and how contributions should be made to the design system and how these contributions should be governed on this topic. We recommend applying the design system decision records, technically probably records how you created this design system. For us, running a good design system or a component library requires social work. Okay. So basically, for us, running a good design system or component library requires a social work as much as technical work. So their vision is that you would have some kind of a component library, right? And it should be in Git repository, and you should have their multiple projects, right? And then when a new developer comes and he has this either bright idea or need to change something or whatever, right? He has this idea. And then he wants to develop his new project. So ultimately, we would want him to go to the design system. So of course, he could generate this new project from a skeleton, right? From a skeleton. But you know what? skeletons with too many lines of code, they begin not to make sense. And what happens when the skeleton change, you need to change. I think of it more of a pattern of a design that you update, and I don't like generating without knowing what. I mean, if you generate something, it should be really, really, really the mere skeleton, nothing more than this. So this new developer should generate his code. Potentially, he wants to update this code with some new thing, and now how to generate already generated, right? So you'd go to this design system, and you want, to connect to some reporting system. So you'd have a design system on how to connect to this reporting system, and you would then utilize this, and everyone will be happy because you didn't just invent the wheel on how to access this reporting system. You actually use the design system inside the Git component library.